Hey everyone, Patty Boy here. Welcome back to my grill. So, first of all, Merry Christmas. Second of all, Happy New Year's. Today is actually New Year's Eve. So we have missed, we've missed a lot, all right? I had something that I wanted to do for Christmas, and you know, between me not feeling good and between some crappy weather, and then my boy, he got sick with COVID. So we're all back, we're all feeling good, and like I said, it is the day before the first of the new year. Originally, what I wanted to do for you guys for Christmas was every year for Christmas when we do cookies, I always do peanut brittle, and we're pretty good at it. We've been making this peanut brittle for years. I learned how to do it many years ago from my wife's mother. And everybody loves my peanut brittle, so I thought sometimes I do make it out here on the grill because we usually do it the same weekend that we're making cookies, all right? And you know, with Luann and the girls in there making cookies and other people helping and just mounds and mounds of cookies and all the supplies, it's easier to not be in there. So I do it out here. So I'm going to share that with you guys. I'm going to share the recipe. You can do it because I do it inside on the stove just as easily as I do it out here. Actually, out here, it takes a little bit longer for each batch, but it can still be done. Because we're talking about this, I have talked about safety before, and I am really going to talk to you about safety on this one. You guys, if you're making this, this is hard candy, all right? And it's very hot. And it's basically like molten lava. You really need to use your safety skills on this one, because if you spill this on your skin, basically what happens is as soon as it touches your skin, because it's sticky candy, it sticks and then it starts to dry and harden right away. And basically you've got a little piece of molten lava on your skin stuck there. It's not fun. So please, if you're gonna make this hard candy, practice your safety. Make sure that wherever you're going with it, your aisles are clear, and man, make sure that the kids are not around. All right, so why don't we just go ahead and just jump right into it. I got all my ingredients here. Let's get started. All right, first thing, and we are gonna write all this down for you guys too if you wanna do this. I got a cup of light corn syrup and a cup of just regular granulated sugar and a cup of raw peanuts, all right? Because when we put these in here, you're actually gonna be cooking the peanuts along with the candy. There is 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and I just dumped it right in here. And you can see there's a little bit of darkness on the top of this. There's a 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and then a tablespoon of butter. So all of that will go into the pan except for the peanuts, and I'll explain as we go. And then there's also a teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda. And that comes at the very end, and you know, we'll show that to you also. All right guys, everything's preheated and we're ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we got the pan in there, and the pan is nice and hot, which is a little bit of a different deal than if you do it inside on the stove. You do it on the stove, you put it on there, and then you can put everything in and then wait for it to come up. But this way here, with the pan being in there, it's already up to temperature, it's already hot. So everything is going in and it's gonna start sizzling right away. All right, here's my cast iron pan. So first we've got corn syrup. And see, right away, and that vanilla, as soon as that vanilla hit, it started, you can smell it. Man, it smells really good too. All right, and then the sugar and salt. That'll temper it a little bit. Now what we're doing is you want to get this going. You know how the sugar has got a little bit of a grainy texture to it. You can feel this when you stir. You use, what we do is stir it around, get that butter in there. Use the back of your spoon and just do one of these across the bottom of the pan, and you can tell, because what you're doing is you want to get the sugar completely melted. So get everything melted, get the butter melted, wait for the butter to melt, and then when you go like this, now you can feel it doesn't have that grainy texture anymore, so the sugar is completely melted. So once that happens, then you can put your peanuts in. All right, now get that stirred around a little bit. Now, like I said about this being different out here than it is on the stove, is on the stove this is going to go and it's going to be non-stop. Because I've got the lid open, we lost a lot of heat, so now we're going to put this down. And again, this is one of those things where we're going to keep an eye on it. We want the heat to come back up, and we give it a stir and a stir, because what you're doing is you want this to cook to where the mixture turns brown, but you also need the peanuts to cook also. So we got to get the temperature back up. So we'll get this lid down, and I have done this, all right? So this isn't like, you know, fly-by-night thing. I have done this before, so we'll let this go for a few seconds, and we'll get back to you with it. So while we got a few seconds, it's sitting here, I've got the lid down waiting for the temperature to come back up. I've already checked it once, gave it a little bit of a stir. When you're on the stove, what the object here is, like I said earlier, you're cooking this. You want to turn this mixture a light brown, and you want to cook the nuts also. So in here, because the temperature goes down, we're putting the lid down, and we're just waiting for it to come back up and then give it a stir. When you're on the stove, you've got a non-stop intense temperature that's right there underneath you, so you have to constantly stir it and not stop stirring it until you're done. That's the difference between inside and out here. And now we do have, and I said earlier about the baking soda, this will go on last. So I'm not exactly sure what the science is, but you'll see, because we'll get a close-up when we're done and it's ready to go. You add the baking soda, and there's a chemical reaction that changes the color a little bit, and it changes the texture. And then once we get that all mixed through, that color and texture change, then we dump it out. And what I like to do is right here on just an old cookie sheet with a little bit of butter, so it helps it to not stick, but then it also adds a little bit more of a buttery flavor to it. So we're going to give this another check, but trust me, when we get ready, you'll be able to tell when you make this too. You know, you make it enough times, you'll be able to tell when it hits that one spot where it's brown enough and it's ready to be done. Because there is a point where it's brown, you know, it's light brown, it's cooked, it's ready to go, but if you let it go just a few seconds longer, it just doesn't take only a few seconds to get past that and be burnt and just nasty. So it's just one of those things where, you know, you have to practice at it, and you'll get it. All right, guys, so we're ready. I just checked this, and it's a nice, beautiful shade of light brown. So we're ready to go here. So I'm going to get this stirred up a little bit more, and we'll show this to you with the baking soda and then pouring it out on the sheet and whatnot. But yeah, we're getting close here. This is exactly what we're looking for. This is a nice, beautiful, light shade of light brown. Yeah, this is ready to go. All right, so we're ready to come off here. All right, so our close-up camera is crapping out on us, but I'll get this up here for you. So there you go. It's a nice light shade of light brown. So then what we do, add the baking soda in. You can get somebody to do it. And then look, it kind of turns almost like a peanut butter color. There you go. Once you get that nice light brown, that light peanut butter color, just right straight on. Just let it spread out, maybe spread it out a little bit. There you go. So, and remember guys, remember what I told you about this pan. These little strings like that right there is molten candy. And if you get that on yourself or your dogs or the kids, this hurts. So remember, if you're gonna do this, it's really fun to do this for Christmas, and this is a really great Christmas time dessert or snack, but just remember your safety. I can't stress that enough. This is really bad stuff to get on your skin or whatever, but there you go. See, it's still running a little bit, but I like to do this in the winter time, you know, Christmas time when it's nice and cold out, and the cold will actually cool it down quick. So there you have it, guys. I'll get you a close-up of it after it's cooled down and we start breaking it up. But Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thanks for checking these out, and I hope next year for Christmas you guys will try this, or if you just like peanut brittle, you know, for any time. But there you go. Thanks for checking us out, and we'll see you on the next video, guys. Have a good and safe New Year.